In this lesson, we're going to look at applying the laws of exponents. And what we're going to do in this lesson is just take a look at several problems that require a whole array of laws to be applied in resolving those problems. Let's start with this. 3x to the third power multiplied by 4x to the second power. So we will multiply 3 and 4. 3 times 4. And then we have x here for x to the third power and x to the second power. So we're going to have x to the power of 3 plus 2. So this is going to give us 12x to the power of 5. Now here we have 2x to the power of 6, y to the power of 5, divided by 16x to the power of 4, y to the power of 1. So we're going to look at our numbers, our integers, separate them, and now apply the rules. X to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 4 is same as x to the power of 6 minus 4. Y to the power of 5 divided by y is the same as y to the power of 5 minus 1. So this is 1 over 8 x squared y to the power of 4, which is actually the same as x squared y to the power of 4 divided by 8. Now let's look at this example here, this problem here. We have 2x to the fourth power, 3y to the fifth power, all that in parentheses, raised to the power of 4. So what that means is we have 2 to the power of 4, x to the power of 4 to the power of 4, 3 to the power of 4, and y to the power of 5, that all to the power of 4. So 2 to the power of 4 is 16. X to the power of 4 to the power of 4 is x4 multiplied by 4, that is 16. 3 to the power of 4 is 81, and y fifth to the power of 4 is y to the power of 20. So that's how you deal with that. Now you have 18x to the power of negative 5, y to the power of 4, divided by 12x to the power of negative 3, y to the power of negative 3. So I'm going to separate out 18 and 12 and then apply the exponent rules. So we have x to the power of negative 5 minus negative 3, y to the power of 4 minus negative 3. So this is going to be 3 over 2 x to the power of negative 5 plus 3 y to the power of 4 plus 3. So this is 3 over 2 x to the power of negative 2 y to the power of 7. This is correct, but to simplify it completely, we will now have 3 over 2 1 over x to the power of 2 y to the power of 7. So this ends up becoming 3y to the power of 7 divided by 2x to the power of 2. Now let's take a look at this. 2x to the power of 3 all to the power of 4. Let's simplify that. So that's going to be 2 to the power of 4 and then x cubed to the power of 4. Alright, then minus 3x squared y to the power of 3 all squared. So that's going to give us negative 3 squared x squared squared y cubed squared. So 2 to the power of 4 is 16. X cubed to the power of 4 is x to the power of 3 times 4, which is x to the power of 12. Now negative 3 squared is going to give us 9. X squared to the power of 2 is x to the power of 4. Y cubed to the power of 2 is y to the power of 6. So now we end up with 16 multiplied by 9, x to the power of 12 plus 4, and y to the power of 6. So we have 144 x to the power of 16, y to the power of 6. Now for this one here, we can simplify this in the parentheses. So we have 2 over 3 x to the power of 4 minus 1 all to the power of 3. So we have 2 over 3 x to the power of 3 all raised to the power of 3. So that's going to be 2 to the power of 3 divided by 3 to the power of 3, and then x to the power of 3 times 3, which is 9. So that's going to give us 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and then 3 to the power of 3 is 27, and then we have x to the power of 9. Now 4x to the power of 3, 2y to the power of 4 to the power of 0. This one is simple enough to say that this is just going to be equal to 1. Or if you want to go through the process, we can go 4 to the power of 0 multiplied by x cubed to the power of 0 multiplied by 2 to the power of 0 multiplied by y to the power of 4 to the power of 0. All of this will give you 1. So you might as well just go ahead and say this, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this one here, 32x to the power of 10 divided by 243y to the power of 15, all to the power of 2 over 5. So we're going to apply the rule. This means that every term in the numerator and every term in the denominator is affected by that exponent. So we're going to rewrite this as 32x to the power of 10 to the power of 2 over 5 divided by 243y to the power of 15 to the power of 2 over 5. So this is going to be 32 to the power of 2 over 5 x 10 to the power of 2 over 5 divided by 243 to the power of 2 over 5 y 15 to the power of 2 over 5. So we're going to rewrite this as the fifth root of 32 squared, and then x to the power of 10 times 2, 20 divided by 5, that's 4, divided by the fifth root of 243 squared, and then y 15 times 2, 30 divided by 5, 6, y to the power of 6. So this is going to give us 4x to the power of 4 divided by 9y to the power of 6. If you have any problems trying to identify this, the video on exponents will show you exactly how we get there. Now, we're going to solve this 12p to the power of 6 q to the power of 7 divided by 3q all to the power of 1/2. Now we're going to simplify what's in the parentheses if possible. So we have 12p q7 divided by 3q. Well, p is to the power of 6, and this is all to the power of 1/2. So let's 12 divided by 3, and then p to the power of 6, q to the power of 7 minus 1, all raised to the power of 1/2. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, so this is 4p to the power of 6, q to the power of 6 to the power of 1/2. So we're going to have 4 square root of 4 multiplied by p to the power of 6, that's p to the power of 3 because we multiply 6 by 1/2, and then also q to the power of 3. So square root of 4 is 2, then we have 2p cubed q to the power of 3 as well. Now for the final question here, we have 3x to the power of 4 and then 4y to the power of 3 squared. So 3 times 4 we have 12. Then we have 12x to the power of 4, y to the power of 3 squared divided by 4x cubed y to the power of 9. So this is going to give us 12 to the power of 2. X to the power of 4 squared is going to give us x to the power of 8. Y to the power of 3 squared is going to give us y to the power of 6 divided by 4x cubed y 9. So this is going to give us 144 x to the power of 8 minus 3 y to the power of 6 minus 9 divided by 4. So we're going to have 144 divided by 4, 36 x to the power of 5 y to the power of negative 3. This is the same as 36x to the power of 5 times 1 over y to the power of 3, which is equal to 36x to the power of 5 divided by y to the power of 3. So the goal of this lesson is just to walk you through different questions and applying the different laws to these questions so you can see how they can be brought together in more complex situations.